There is a conversation happening in every corporate boardroom right now, and you are not in it. But the outcome directly affects your bank account. Companies are looking at their payroll and then looking at what AI can do, and the math is not going in your favor. This is not a sci-fi conversation anymore. This is a 2026 conversation. The jobs are not coming back, and most people are completely unprepared for what that means. Not just for their career, for their entire financial life. My name is Dobers, and today we are going to talk about what is actually happening, what it means for your money, and what to do before it is too late to do anything. Let's start with what is actually going on, because the headlines are either too dramatic or not dramatic enough. AI is not replacing every job overnight. That is not how this works. What is happening is more surgical, and honestly more dangerous than that. Specific tasks inside jobs are being automated, layer by layer, and when enough tasks inside a job get automated, the job itself disappears. Or it gets consolidated. One person doing what 3 people used to do, which means 2 of those 3 people are out, quietly, with a severance package and a LinkedIn post. This has already happened in content writing, customer service, data entry, and basic coding. It is actively happening right now in accounting, marketing, paralegal work, and financial analysis. And it is coming for a much longer list of jobs than most people are comfortable admitting. Here is the thing about how job displacement actually works that nobody explains clearly. It does not happen all at once. It creeps. First, the company automates the repetitive parts of your role. Your job gets easier. Maybe you even feel relieved for a minute. Then they realize they do not need as many people doing the non-repetitive parts either. Because AI handles the research, the drafting, the analysis, the summarizing. What used to take a team of 6 now takes a team of 2 with AI tools. So they let 4 people go. Restructuring, efficiency improvements, right-sizing, all the corporate language for "we found a cheaper way to do what you were doing." You are not fired because you did something wrong. You are fired because you became optional, and optional is a very dangerous place to be in 2026. Let's talk about which jobs are actually at risk, because I want to be specific. If your job primarily involves processing information, AI is already doing most of it better than you. Accounting and bookkeeping. A huge portion of this is gone or going fast. Basic legal work, contract review, document drafting, research. Largely automated. Customer service. The call centers that survived outsourcing are now being gutted by AI agents. Copywriting and content production. Entry-level writing jobs have been decimated. Graphic design at the production level. Not creative direction, production. Data analysis and reporting. Tools now do in seconds what took analysts days. Medical coding, insurance processing, loan underwriting. All of it being compressed. Middle management roles that mostly existed to pass information between levels, disappearing. If you looked at that list and felt uncomfortable, that discomfort is information. Use it. Now let's talk about the financial reality of what job displacement actually looks like. Because it is not just about losing income, it is about the timing. Most people are living within $200 of their monthly expenses at any given time. No real emergency fund, debt that requires consistent income to service, a lifestyle that was built around a salary that assumed job security that no longer exists. When the job disappears, the entire financial structure collapses at once. The mortgage payment does not pause while you figure things out. The car payment does not care that your industry just restructured. The credit card minimum does not negotiate with your severance timeline. And finding a new job in a market where AI is compressing hiring across multiple industries takes longer than it used to, sometimes significantly longer. The people who come out of job displacement okay are the ones who had a cushion. The people who come out of it in financial crisis are the ones who assumed the job would always be there. Here is the part I really need you to hear. AI is not just a job threat. It is also an income opportunity. And most people are so focused on the fear side that they are completely missing the other side. The people who learn to use AI tools effectively are becoming dramatically more productive. One person with strong AI skills can now produce what a small team used to produce. That creates leverage, and leverage creates income options that did not exist before. Freelancers are charging more because they can deliver more faster with less overhead. Small business owners are running leaner operations with higher margins. Side hustles that used to require a team or a big budget now require one person and a few tools. The divide is not between people who have jobs and people who do not anymore. The divide is between people who know how to use AI and people who are waiting for someone to teach them. One of those groups is getting more valuable every year. The other is getting replaced by it. Let's talk about income diversification, because this is the most important financial concept of 2026. For most of the last century, the goal was a good, stable job with a reliable paycheck. That model worked because the job was actually stable. The social contract was you show up, you work hard, you keep your job. That contract has been quietly shredded over the last few years. Loyalty to an employer no longer guarantees employment. The math changed, which means building your financial life entirely around one income source is one of the riskiest financial decisions you can make right now. Not because your job is definitely going away tomorrow, but because the probability that it stays exactly the same for the next 20 years is basically zero. The smart financial move in this environment is to stop treating your salary as the plan, and start treating it as one income stream among several. So what does income diversification actually look like in practice? Let's get specific. The first layer is your primary job. Keep it, perform well, do not get comfortable. The second layer is a skill-based side income, something you can do with what you already know. Consulting, freelancing, coaching, tutoring, things that pay you for expertise, not just time. The third layer is investment income, dividends, index funds, assets that generate returns passively. The fourth layer is something that can scale without trading more of your time for money. A digital product, a content channel, a tool, something that works while you sleep. You do not need all four layers tomorrow, but you need to be building toward them. Because in an economy where any single income source can disappear overnight, having multiple streams is not a luxury anymore. It is basic financial risk management. Let's talk about the emergency fund conversation because it needs updating for 2026. The old rule was 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in cash. That was the standard advice, and it was built around an assumption that job searches take 3 to 6 months. In a market being compressed by AI across multiple industries simultaneously, that assumption is outdated. Job searches are taking longer. Competition is higher. Hiring is slower. Companies are being more selective because AI tools mean they need fewer people to do more work. The new target should be closer to 9 to 12 months of expenses liquid and accessible. That is not a comfortable number for most people. Good. Discomfort with that number should motivate action, not paralysis. Start building toward it now. Even if you are starting from essentially zero. 3 months is better than nothing. 6 is better than 3. Build it up over time. The people with 12 months saved are the ones who can afford to be selective after a layoff. The people with nothing saved are the ones who take the first offer out of panic. Here is something that does not get talked about enough. Skills have an expiration date now. Not a long one. We are talking 3 to 5 years in some fields. The thing that made you hireable in 2021 might be partially or fully automated by 2026, which means continuous learning is not optional anymore. It is a survival skill. The people who are going to come out of the AI transition in a strong position are the ones who are actively investing in staying relevant, not just doing their current job well, actually expanding what they can do, learning the AI tools that are reshaping their industry, building skills that sit at the intersection of human judgment and technical capability, communication, critical thinking, creative problem solving, leadership, emotional intelligence. These are the things AI is genuinely bad at, and they happen to be the things that pay well. If you are not investing time in skill development right now, you are slowly depreciating. And unlike a car, you do not get to trade yourself in for a newer model. Let's talk about debt, because this is where a lot of people are going to get hurt. High fixed monthly debt obligations are a liability in a stable economy. In an economy where income can disappear quickly, they are genuinely dangerous. The car payment you stretched to afford because you figured the salary was secure, the credit card balance you have been rolling over because next month will be better, the lifestyle debt that accumulated during a period when the income felt reliable. All of it creates a floor on your monthly expenses that has to be met no matter what happens. And the higher that floor, the less runway you have when something goes wrong. Aggressively paying down high-interest debt right now is not just good financial hygiene, it is risk reduction. It is lowering the monthly number you have to hit to stay afloat. Every high-interest debt you eliminate is one less thing that can crush you during a transition. Get aggressive about it. Not because debt is morally wrong, because flexibility is survival. Here is the investing angle that almost nobody is talking about clearly. AI is not just displacing workers, it is also creating enormous corporate value. The companies building and deploying these tools are generating significant returns, which means if you are invested in broad market index funds, you are actually participating in the upside. The same technology that might threaten your job is also growing your investment account. That is a strange and important dynamic to understand. The worker loses, the investor wins. Sometimes those are the same person if they planned ahead. This is one of the strongest arguments for consistent investing that exists right now. You want to be on both sides of this transition if at all possible, protecting your income from disruption while also owning a piece of the companies doing the disrupting. That is not a contradiction. That is just smart positioning. Let's talk about what you should actually do this week. Not eventually, this week. Step 1. Audit your job honestly. How much of what you do daily could AI do right now? Not theoretically, actually, with tools that exist today in 2026. Be brutally honest with yourself. Your feelings about the answer do not change the answer. If the number is high, you have information you need to act on. Step 2. Start learning the AI tools relevant to your field immediately. Not to be trendy, to be the person who survives the consolidation instead of becoming it. The person who knows how to use these tools is worth keeping. The person who refuses to learn is not. Step 3. Look at your monthly expenses and find the number you need to survive. Not thrive, survive. Rent, utilities, food, transportation, minimum debt payments. That is your floor. Know it exactly. Then build a savings buffer above it. Step 4. Start one income stream outside your primary job this month. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be your passion. It just has to be real. Something that generates income outside of your employer. Even $200 a month from something separate is a proof of concept and a psychological safety net. Step 5. Get invested if you are not already. Even a small amount into a broad index fund. Because sitting on the sidelines while the AI economy generates enormous returns is a choice with a cost. I want to end with something real, because I think most of the conversation around AI and jobs is either too optimistic or too catastrophic, and neither of those is useful. The honest version is this. Some people are going to get hurt by this transition. Badly. Not because they are lazy or stupid or did anything wrong, but because they did not see it coming fast enough and were not positioned to absorb the impact. And some people are going to come out of this transition in a dramatically better position than before. Not because they are lucky, because they paid attention early and moved while there was still time to move. The difference between those two groups is not intelligence. It is not connections. It is not even money. It is whether they treated this as a real thing requiring real action or a news story to scroll past. You are watching this video, so you already did the first part. You paid attention. Now comes the part that actually matters. What you do with the next 30 days. Because in 5 years, the people who acted in 2026 are going to look very different from the people who waited to see how it all played out. Do not be the person who waited. If this hit different, share it with someone who needs to hear it before it is too late. Subscribe if you are not already. I will catch you in the next one.